Oh, now I'm sitting here.
Oh, such dust. Not a
Look
curve.
it.
Yep. Squirt them out.
I'm just gonna have the end over here.
Am I? Wait, am I able to?
This is my notebook. My folder seat. I stuff seat. I have my book. Are you look? No, I It's my time saying the class. No. Happy New
Have some vocab. I'm space in here to create word wall where we can put our words up and kind of keep working through them on the section. Okay? But it's probably going to end up being so let's go with the picture that should be loaded. We can go ahead and start it. Today is Friday. 30. Okay. Alright. Soccer players on the win on the double. How do you get me started? Fell asleep through his glasses. And that is falling to the beach with his glasses. Now, what happened because he lost? He fell to the beach and burned, and was so angry at the sun that she in his and that's about to cry. Awesome. According to cause of his murder. Hurt like this. And now it really hurts. Alright, thanks. Okay, so that's his new effect. This is what she can do. So that's... Panic sick. Okay. Anyone else? Alright, let's try just have the one more. So, well, the cause, the natural effect, the natural effect on what was You don't know anything? Okay, so try to spill on the girl in the, because she's holding the cup. Alright. Okay, so the contact did them out, but they got in trouble for it some time out. Okay. And he must have another to share. Let's move on to the so we're talking about that's a worthwhile dictionary definition. If you look up in the dictionary, this would be the denote is its dictionary. Don't you get those sort of D things to help you remember? Denotation, dictionary, dictionary. A denotation dictionary definition. Alright? Notation. A concept is not a dictionary definition. It is one of words to evoke hope. Or emote. Number one or nothing in your dictionary. But it's word to create different feeling or Example. Denotation. A blue shirt. Okay. In this case, blue is the dictation of what color blue. It's a mixture of green, yellow together. Does everybody know that? Or blue. Yeah. You can mix green and yellow. And mix. Oh, yellow, blue, and green. That's on backward. Yeah, yellow. No. Either way. I know because it's I'm trying to remember this. They use your primary, but there's always something. So, you don't have to sound it probably in my denotation is bilingual. Is when you use a thing or an emotion. Bobby was blue after his death. Did he really blue? Turn into a small? No, but it means what? When he was blue. Why do we say that? Carbon collie. So it's the same kind of color. It's kind of cool, neutral, depending on what color blue it is. It depends. But when they use color for different emotions, like it can be a set. Right? Black is Maria saw a pig at right? Oh, she saw a python snake at okay. We got a python snake. Where a snake is, right? It's a reptile. It's skinny. There are some people have some evidence that's one. They are they're related so they're related to those two. Connotation is the exact meaning, so this connotation means why would we say that? What's a real snake? Historically now people, in a lot of situations, what do snakes represent? A lot of times, what do snakes represent? Like metaphorically. Metaphorically, what do snakes represent? Snakes representing as evil, not agriculture. In many a snake represents evil. You see things like, how many of you guys ever they're the bad guys in G.I. Joe. Cobras. Cobra Commander, there's that snake, that evil element, bad. There's something about snakes. There's back to the little shrimp, and the evil. But there's also, are there animals that don't like that just talk like that? Weird. Kind of disturbing. Alright, snakes have long had a reputation for being evil. It's sort of, when you think about someone being a snake. You gotta get the idea that they're not nice, good person to be around, alright? This one. Example. You are a prince. Denotation. As our denotation is that she wore something nice. It must have been a bad Friday. She wore her red shirt. Right? But the connotations is in another way. My teacher was red when we were. What does that mean? If your teacher red when you were angry. Let's say it's so red at us. How do we say? Aren't themselves red, the color they say they're red. Why else? Exactly. When you get your face flushed, blood runs to your soul red, you're just like, oh! You're just angry, you're mad, and you don't like yell or you can see sometimes when someone's angry, punch their jaw. And all that blood, their face gets real red. So you can sort of see. So we have another example of using colors. Denotation. I saw a big red piece of. I saw a big rat eating a piece of that. Connotation, don't be a rat. What do I mean by don't when we say that? Don't rat. Don't be a rat. Okay. Okay, we're ratting out on somebody. To tell. Why do we give rats what do we call it? Sneaky, right? Sneaky. Oh, they're conniving and they'll do everything, but they won't do it out in the open. They do it inside walls where nobody. They gotta go around and get that sneaky thing about. And they're really, and if you've ever seen a group of rats together that are a game, and I'm not a person, but have you ever seen Indians and the Last Crusade, which is another minute, so watch it. There's one there down in this, and there's rats everywhere, right? Someone sets it on fire, they're trying to get out, and so is the rats are concerned about saving them, and they will step on each other's heads and push each other and push each other into the fire so they get out. They don't care about anybody else. They are about themselves. And so that's the kind of it's kind of the same thing with this. I tell someone don't be, because a lot of people is this in like movies and someone said it's because let's say they've gotten bucked and they're about to get in trouble. The only way they can save themselves out is other people in. They don't care about what happened, only concerned with safety. And so they'll tell on everybody else so they get out of trouble. Just like a rat with everybody else's head is in the fire. Right? So it will get. So, we got the conversation of making, sick, shit, the flu, sick, Connotation. So here we have the first example, we have told dictionary definition of what city is. If you were to look at it, we're telling you that cold, not below, or what dictionary definition is. On our connotation, John did sick tricks at the park. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, was he doing like puke and have a few? What? What do you mean? What do you mean? He was doing some real. What do we say? What do we say that? Sick. Sick. How do we say it? There's a lot of talk about something that's really, something that we really people understand. A lot of people like to be a little bit ironic. We talk. Well, the big word when you were talking about was it really bad? Was it good? No, exactly. It was awesome. It was stellar. It was ridiculous. It was good. We don't say it anymore. Some people, with that sort of being bad, it uses different, heavier words, better for it. So stuff got nasty. Got they start changing those use, getting those bad just too changing that little twist. You know what they So, once again, the connotation is not same as denotation. Then we have two more examples. Denotation, don't touch that pan on the stove, it's hot, right? Don't touch this on the stove, Alright, so that's our denotation, it's that touches the ow. Only about the new girl class what? Does that mean the exact same I touch your mouth? Ow. Ow. The skin's melting off. Does that mean the exact same thing, right? Yeah, that's a different comment. It's supposed to feel or think a little differently with it, right? So, one of my things with this is, I have friends out there every once in a while, and I am really hot. That's a matter of opinion. Because I switched the connotation, because they're saying denotation, right? They're saying, oh, I'm really hot. So I take their and I switch. Well, that's okay. You know, I'm in with you. I'm doing the same thing. You always have with your denotations to make sure that you're using them properly, please. Alright. Boy, time at recess because that was so much fun. Did it really fly? Did it grow wings? The clock just grew wings. Like someone in a really very like Mom would accidentally like do something, and the clock gets lost. And then it would come in and really flying. It's a really bad joke. I don't. When we say the connotation, when we say time fleet, does time ever reach speed? What is it? It's like it's going. It doesn't, time doesn't change. Time doesn't what are time, what's an example of what time for you? What's this time, right? Time flies free. What else? I think this summer went by so slow. I really, it was eternal. Over the last 2 weeks, I was building this tree where I got like, sleep the whole rest. What's a connotation to say opposite place? The opposite. Time flew when it went fast. What's something we can say? A word that we use with a different connotation to the opposite. Time doesn't stop, you can say time stopped that moment. And people all the time, right? Time just stopped. Shoot me and stop. Whoa! Right? People say that. What's another for the so time went really fast? We want to talk about something going slowly. No, halted, just say stop. Throw, kind of say. Oh crap. Crawls. Time crawls. Time walk. Oh, walk. I didn't write this, so it's public. I somehow. I didn't write this. So, all of our different voting have all these next are going to have annotation and deeds. And we're going to talk a little bit, and I'm hoping to use the term right along. They are the connotations and denotations. So, this is back to our talked about our worthless and connotation denotations and words. Our guys come in, we'll go over our actual I will give them, and then some time talk definitions, and the definitions, and we'll kind of want to vote. A little, thing for you, I'm gonna pass out some what there are, I'll read you the direction just a second. Here is a number of different there are numbers of X. Crosses we have. They go together. So there's going to be clause, and then there's going to be a effect. These all together. Find out they go. Find out you need to, then you need to and talk to people to find the match in your call. Now, if I get over to the very end of the row, I've got some, days because I only have enough glasses, so I come back. Okay, awesome. We ended up with enough so they were included. So what you need. This is what you need. Fine. If you have a cause, like I have a cause. My cause. This is my cause. I have 2 students sneakily extinct tests. That's a cause. I need a person who has the effect happen to sneaky students who are sneakily texting. So that's my cause. You think the effect that my cause combined, but right now you have to find the place that goes with your effect or effect with the effect or volunteer to do it. Soccer team volunteer. Alex is gonna take over mine. And someone in that group should have. Anymore, I can find out. That's my timer saying this is what I need to do. Or someplace not what did I do? No, I didn't. Why do you always do big ones out? Child, I'm not gonna probably he has computers, yes, but he So, we're going to, we're now going to that is, follow directions. Following directions, I mean read the directions fully before anything. That includes I need directions this activity. So halfway then my phone rang, and so I was like, oh, I know how this thing is. Are those what dots after those three dot ellipses? So if a cause afterward, after the effect will have the ellipsis. Alright, so I'm gonna let you guys think. I've given you guys a lot. So I need a group, I think there's 20 people in the I can choose, that's all. Let's do 4. If we did 4, it would have to be 2 So let's try that. We're going to do a group of 3 or 4. We need a group of 3 or 4. 3 or 4. No. Okay, they just have 2 over there. Guys, we have way too many people. Alright, I need you guys to break up. I need drinking water. So how are we going to, I need to have, we have 2 Yes, that's right. This is what I need you to get through. Whatever more what you almost every drink. So maybe we just have to put one part. In your groups of 3, what I need is I need you to sentence strips, right? Cause or an effect. I need you to, the first thing you're going to do, on top of your paper, write down your 3 either causes or effects, right? So you're going to get one piece of paper, whatever your or effects are, you're going to write them. Then you need to write many causes or effects. Come up with it. Following Sarah accidentally let her best friends. What effects can you with that? Then you should, I'm going to give you one, right? Then you should, okay? Does it back? Right. So Jack's back. There's no effect. Maybe Joey and granddaughter, whatever it is. Okay? So you need to come up with, you also need to live as causes are the causes, okay? Get started. I'm going to report you on really quickly, please. So that we are all in how I want to do this. I want you to write all 3 of the things at the top and number them 1, 2, 3. So let's say number 1 is right now. Let's say number 1 is a call. Writing all of your effects that go along with your call. Label them numbers, alright? And then when you start writing your stuff, you label number 2. So that I can tell which together. Go ahead and go. Get started. I'll send for 12 minutes. Lots of time.
Boys and girls. I know.
Eric was awarded a John Eric. Oh, you're supposed to. So like this was what was the big the Maverick Award that we did each year? Like Student of the Year. So that's the Student of the Year. So Eric was awarded Student of the Year nomination for first quarter. Okay.
You have to
You're going to have to break it. Oh my.
You have to do like 2, 3.
Please, Spencer. Anna, what do you say? That hard? Or whatever. back into it.
Christian Lord.
First, I do awesome shit. I'm just trying to dare you? Yeah. Alright guys, you might come by and collect your slips of paper, you put down before the one.
I got the first one, guys. Oh. Right there. Very good.
Slips of paper.
I know. Her best friend died in a car accident that same day. She went to the crying and she's getting on there. I would never
You guys came up with as many as you came up with, or as least you could? Everybody's coming, I get everybody slips of paper. Slips of paper. Remember, you're supposed to be coming as many as you come up with. So if you only have like one, you have not done enough. If you only have two, you have not done enough. Alright, when it takes another 2 minutes.
Okay, look.
Guys, come go there again.
After you use the computer, kind of After slicing the computer in half, the computer shut down. After
Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and put your final touches on it. I'm going to come by and pick up your list, so make sure all of your group members' names are on your lists. So if you have your list, please make sure everybody's everyone in your group's name is on the list. I'm going to come by and pick them up.
You guys should have had me at maybe like 7. Yeah, Brandon, you should have left us. You should have left us. I made like 10 of them.
Alright, everybody pick them up. Give me your list.
Give me your number. Yes, I need it. Yes. Yes. No.
I just thought of a really good one. What was it?
Yeah.
I ejected my anger out of my computer.
Alright, list. Do I have all the list?
Yeah. We gotta go to Labor Day. You got
Alright, everybody else. Guys, alright. Guys, have a seat. Okay, I'm going to read a couple of them off, just kind of get some ideas as to what some of you guys wrote, and then we will get moving on. Okay, so here we go. Here's one of the first ones that we have. It's an effect, and the effect is Ed is standing out in the pouring rain. So that's our effect. One of our causes for that is he broke up with his girlfriend. Another one is he got beat up, and the other one is the bus was late. So not too bad. Let's hear. We have another effect here. Eric was awarded top Pirate Murphy nomination for first quarter. Okay. So that's the effect. Here are some of the possible causes. Eric got straight A's.
All edgy.
He was nice to everyone.
He acted like a pirate.
I'm not asking you for causes, I'm reading off the ones right here. Eric did all of his homework. Eric got 100% on his test. So those are some of them. Another effect on this one, Katie walked in the room with a grin on her face. Okay? So, let's see, she got an A on her test. Katie's mom told her she was getting a puppy. Katie got a sucker. Here's another list. We have a cause here. Sarah accidentally let her best friend's secret slip. Okay, so we read that one earlier. So that's, no, it wasn't Alex. So Sarah accidentally let her best friend's secret slip. So that's a cause. So here are some possible effects. Now, Sarah and her best friend are not friends anymore. Oh, so sad. Here's another one. Sarah had to hear the secret, but in order to, she had to say her best friend's secret. So now...
Jocelyn. Okay, I was writing fast.
Okay. Alright.
No, okay, no,
Go
but what
on.
I didn't say, what I meant to say was that Sarah wanted to hear another secret, but her other friend wouldn't tell her the secret unless she told her friend the secret that she had about her friend, so she splits.
Alright. I understand where you're going. Okay, so let's move on to another one. Here's another one. Jesse woke up early each morning to feed and take his puppy for a walk. Effects of this, he was tired the rest of the day. His puppy wasn't motivated because it was too tired. His puppy became an unhealthy and unfit. Became healthy and fit. Okay. Sorry, I read that. Let's see another one. In a sleepy daze, James put on a shirt with foul language. So that's what it is. That's foul language on his shirt. So here are the things that could have happened to him. He got in trouble. He got a step. He had to wear his gym shirt. He had to go home. And he got grounded. Let's see here. Here's another one on this one. Here is an effect. So we're looking for some causes. Two friends were stranded at the movie theater together. So here's some causes, things that could have caused two friends to be stranded at the movie theater together. They didn't plan it through, so they didn't plan out their trip. No one picked them up, and they weren't very intelligent.
That was my idea.
They're just sort of like, oh, I don't know how to get out. One last one, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. We'll do this last one. Let's see here. One of the, I think this is a cause. Running late for work, John drove 75 miles per hour. Okay, so I think that's the cause. Here are some effects. He drove off a cliff and yet still got fired from his job. John made it to work on time after smashing through his work with his car.
It's awesome.
Number two, the second one they have, the computer unexpectedly shut down. Okay? Unexpectedly, it looks like it's in quotation marks. So here are some possible, I think, causes for this, or, oh yeah, we're looking for causes. So after throwing the computer off the skyscraper, the computer unexpectedly shut down. After slicing the computer in half, after playing Dodge Computer with rocks, after using my computer as a cannonball, and after skydiving with my computer. Okay, so there are some really good ones in there, some really funny ones. So we have those. The next thing that I want to do is I'm going to pass this out to you. I think we should have, what, 10. All right, we're going to have time. We're probably going to have time to talk about these. We've got about 20 minutes. We'll probably have time to talk about these and get started reading the story, hopefully. But I don't think we're gonna have enough time to finish reading the story. The story's not very long, but I don't think that we're gonna have time to finish reading the story. What I would like you to do is, if you have a 3-ring, how many of you guys have a 3-ring binder that you're using for this class? Okay. You don't need one. If you have a 3-ring binder that you're using for this class already, I will put out I have a 3-hole punch, and you can punch these and put them in it. If you have a folder that you're using, you can put them in your folder. But I just wanted to know how many people had it so that I can make it available. All right? So I will put that out on the table, because you're going to want to hold on to these, because they're going to help us as we go through. We're going to do a number of these for different things, like for all of our different stories that we read as we go through. Okay? It will help us write our final paper that we'll have at the very end of this section. Okay? So, I'm going to pass these along, and we're going to talk about them for just a minute, and then hopefully we'll get a chance to start reading our story. Oh, sign right there. Please, can we get quieter?
That's your fault.
It's over on the table over there.
What did you say? Tammy kind of not what?
What? I didn't say anything.
Not yet.
Good job.
Courtney,
Oh, you meant to kill me.
you're like at least 5 people with you. That's your new distance.
No,
Okay?
we're not gonna have
Maybe like 10 people.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the chart. If you're 3-hole punching, just take a look at the chart while you're waiting. All right. In here, we have a couple different categories that you can start to fill in as you're reading through the story. All right. So the first section that we have, the story title. You're going to want to fill in the story title. You can do that right now because the story title is right on the board. The first story we're going to read is Duffy's Jacket. Okay? You can fill that in right now. So the story title is Duffy's Jacket. That's the first thing that we're going to do. Okay? I'm actually going to go ahead and turn the projector off just because we don't need to be running it right now. So I hope everybody got that down. The story title is Duffy's Jacket. Alright? So I have that written down. In the next section, as you're reading the story, remember how we talked about our cause and effect chains? How like one thing happens, and then that means like another thing happens, and that means another thing happens, and makes another thing happen? You see a lot of that in stories, right? One of my favorite little cause and effect chains that you see a lot of times in stories is you see those movies, and I'm pretty sure that you could name one if I asked you to, where you have those movies where a guy, they're always in those romantic comedies, they almost always go the same way. You have the guy and the girl, and somehow, for some reason, one of them has to lie to the other one about who they are. Let's say one of my favorite ones is the setup where you have the guy and the girl, and the girl is for some reason completely undateable. Nobody wants to date her. In some movies they make it because she's like really like she's not very popular, maybe she's not very pretty, she doesn't take very good care of herself. Sometimes it's that she's just not very nice. And she's just sort of like mean to people. And she's whatever, for some reason, whatever it is, she's just not dateable. Nobody wants to go out with her. Until somebody convinces a guy that he should date her to do one of a couple of things. Maybe he needs to win a bet. So maybe they bet him, you can't make her dateable, you can't make her cool. Or maybe somebody's come in and said, you know what, I feel really bad for her, I'm going to pay him money to date her. So you have like this sort of setup where for some reason or another, one person in the relationship is lying to the other one about why they're together. And this lie, as you know with lies, builds and builds and builds, and all kinds of other people get involved until some point in time. We've all watched movies like that. Until some point in time where all of a sudden it is revealed to the girl that the guy lied at the beginning. Now, by this point in time in the movie, he like really has feelings for her, right? That's the way it always is. The way it always goes. He is actually fallen for her. Finds out that she's this wonderful person, and that she's only really mean because her mom died when she was young, and she's upset about it still, or maybe she just has like a really bad ingrown toenail that she just can't get fixed. And so like once he gets her to the podiatrist and they take that out, she's much happier. Whatever it is, she's got something, they work through it, they figure it out. But then the lie is revealed. And what always happens after the lie is revealed? What always happens? They break up, right? Now, we all know this story, right? Are they going to stay broken up? No. Somehow, they're going to get back together. They're going to be broken up. They're going to stay apart for a while. Then there's going to be a little montage, a little music playing, and something special is going to happen, right? And they're going to speed up time, you know? And then all of a sudden, like, he's going to come in, and he's like, I'm sorry, I love you. And she'll be like, I'm sorry, I love you too. And then they'll be happy, right? That's how this story goes. Everybody knows this story. But you have that series of cause and effect, right? The first cause in that series is what? What's the first cause in that series? In the series of cause and effect, the chain of events that leads to them eventually being in love and living happily ever after, what is the initial cause, the initial event? Non-initial. That's not the initial event. What's the initial cause? Not quite. There's something more important than the biggest cause, the thing that sets everything up. Without this one thing, none of the other stuff happens. The lie. You start with the lie. Now, he lies. Yes, there's a cause behind the lie. That he lies because she's undateable, or because there's a bet made that he can date her. Just to clarify, I'm only using guy and girl, like with the girl being undateable, because it's just easier. There are a lot of movies where it's reversed, and the guy's undateable, and like there's a really great movie with Matthew McConaughey where the guy's completely undateable, and his parents pay a girl to date him to get him out of the house. It's called Failure at Launch. But there's a number of movies or stories where the roles are reversed. They're basically interchangeable, but you have to have one person who's completely undateable and one person who's willing to lie or does lie in order to date them. Okay? And then later on the lie is revealed. In this story, I'm not saying it's going to go that way, but in this story there's going to be an initial cause. There's going to be something that's going to happen that's going to cause a series of chain reactions, a series of events, a series of cause and effects. And that you're going to list here in that second category where it says, describe the main conflict. So in our little classic love story that we were just talking about, what's the main conflict of the story? Not that the lady's not dateable. What is it? It's that their relationship is based on a lie. I think it's the PA. They're trying to fix the PA, I think. It's coming from straight up there. It's not coming from my message. That's from right up there. It's the PA. So just the public addresses. So just bear with it. I know it's horrible. It's hurting my head. So in this, we have everybody. Does everybody remember our 4 generalized types of conflict? There it goes. Stop. We had 4. There's 4 types of conflict. Anybody remember what they are? The universal types of conflict. There's 4 of them. Come on. Someone give me one. Man versus man. There's one. All right, we got the first one. Then we got to start it off. What's another one? Man versus society. All right, we got that one. Lord.
Man versus nature.
Man versus nature. And what's the last one? The very last one. No, not Man vs. Food. And not Man vs. Wild either. There's another
Oh,
one.
I like that show.
Courtney.
Man vs. Self.
Man versus self. All right. So we have our 4 universal types. Our main conflict in our little love story we were talking about would be something to the effect of
Man vs. it.
2 people who they're in love with each other, but it's all based on a lie, and so they have to cover up the lie. So it's the one character always keeping the lie covered up. What type of conflict is that? What type of conflict is that? Well,
Man versus self.
man versus self, right? He's trying to keep this lie covered. And he's battling with himself because he knows that he loves her, but he knows their whole relationship is based on a lie. And he wants to tell her, because he wants to be honest with her, because that's what you do when you love somebody, you are honest with them. And he wants to do that, but he knows that if he does, she's not going to want to be with him anymore. And so he's battling with himself all the time. Or herself, however you want to look at the story. There's this battle going on. So we could talk about we've described the conflict in this box. So we would talk about what the lie is and all the things that happen because of the lie. So this big box, that's why it's so big. When you figure out what the main conflict is, what is going on in this story, what is the chain reaction of events, what is driving all the action, you would put that in here, right? That would go in here. See, when you think of conflict, conflict is the thing that without which there would be no story. So think about our little story that we talked about. When I asked you guys what some of the conflict was, some of you said that she was undateable. But without the lie, there's just a story that's about a girl who's undateable. It's not the same story. It's not even really an interesting story. It's like, okay, well, here's this girl that's undateable. Well, what happens to her? She just goes on being undateable. Okay. Anything else happen? No. She dies. The end. It's kind of sad. Somewhere in there she gets 6 cats. I don't know. But there's nothing to the story. But once that lie happens, now you have some action. Now you've got stuff going on. So the conflict is the thing that drives the action. So what drives the action? What makes everything happen in the story? So that's going to go in here. And then you have to identify whether it's internal or external conflict. Okay, that one's pretty easy. What kind of conflict is this one? What kind of conflict is it in our story we're just make-believe talking about? Emma? Internal, right? It's an internal. It's inside the person himself. It's an internal conflict.
This is a test. I apologize for the interruption. This is a test of the PA system.
Whoop, whoop! If I had a button back, I would do that exactly. Like if I could call back to the office, I would just hit it back and do exactly that into the office. And they would be like, oh, it's Bittner's room. It's Bittner's room.
All do those.
So we would put, all right. So we put internal and external in this category. And then we need to label it as our universal one. Like what type is it? So if you notice, there's a little hint. Universal type, man versus what? Okay? And in our little love story that we talked about, it would be man versus self. The next steps taken to resolve the conflict. So this is what happens after the lie is revealed, right? So how do we resolve the conflict? How do we make things better between the two of them? What do we do? What are some examples from like our little story that things that might happen to help resolve the conflict, to get the couple back together again? Think about all the movies that you've seen that are like this. What are some of the things that may have happened?
He apologizes.
He apologizes. That's got to happen. At some point in time, that's got to happen in there somewhere. What else? What else might happen?
He falls in love with her.
He's already fallen in love with her. He's already in love with her. Now and now their lie is revealed. So he's already in love with her, and he feels really bad. She's still in love with him, but she doesn't want to. She's mad at him, and so yeah.
Okay, so his friends realized that now they made him. Okay, so the guy's friends who likes the girl. His friends, they feel bad for him because now he's like not happy anymore and doesn't talk
the friends step in. So you have the secondary characters. The friends step in and they help him out. Sometimes in these stories, you'll have, it's like, sometimes, a lot of times you'll see this in stories where you'll have a secondary set of characters and they start dating at about the same time, but they're not dating based on a lie at all. They just liked each other. And one of them is normally like the girlfriend of the main girl, and one of them is like one of the guy friends of the main guy. And so now they're dating and happy, and so they try and get the other two back together because they know that they deserve each other and they should be back together. But the friends step in. What else?
You know, we had a guy today.
Yes.
So that they both lied to each other.
Right, they both lie to each other now. But how do they resolve it? How do they get back together? How do they fix it?
I remember that. Oh yeah. I remember he chases her. She's like gonna move away, and then he goes to her friend, and she's like, "Where is she?" And she's like, "She's gone. She's going to Atlanta or something." He like takes a taxi and goes and finds her and makes her stop on the bridge, and then realizes.
There's always like some sort of like really dramatic moment where someone either commits to something more than what you normally would do, or they go above and beyond. So there's a moment where they go above and beyond what a normal person would do in a normal circumstance where you like something. Finally, in our last step, our second to last step, you want to describe the resolution. So what happens at the end? How do they resolve the situation? In our little love story, what's the resolution?
The guy begs the girl.
Guy begs the girl, and then what happens?
They get
They get back together. They get married. They get back together. They have kids. Whatever it is. Woo woo. And then the credits roll. And I'm really happy that my wife let me get Raisinets in the movies because that's the only happy part of the movie for me. All right. Fellowship ring in just a second. Our fellowship ring. I'm really going to see if we're at the release bells, but I have my timer going. When we get back, really quickly. When you guys get back from break, because you have Monday off, when you guys get back on Tuesday, we're going to start grammar on Tuesday. We're going to get our worthwhile words on Tuesday. And on Thursday, we have math test. Do not forget. See you later.